My wife cheated with our mutual friend, lied that I abandoned her and the kids, and turned everyone against me. Years later, my son asked why I left, so I finally told him what she did. My wife told our kids I walked out on them, but the truth is I came home early and found her screwing our mutual friend in our bed while the kids were at school. I'm writing this because my son just called me for the first time in 4 years. He's 18 now. He asked why I really left. So I told him everything. Back then, I was working 2 jobs to save for a down payment on a bigger house. My wife kept saying we needed more space, that the kids were getting older and needed their own rooms. I believed her. I worked myself half to death. One Tuesday, my afternoon shift got cancelled. I figured I'd surprise everyone. Maybe take the family out to dinner. I walked in through the garage. Heard noises upstairs. At first I thought someone broke in. Then I heard her voice. Then his. Our friend. The guy I'd known since college. The one who came to every birthday party, every barbecue, every holiday dinner. I stood in the hallway and listened to them for maybe 30 seconds. That's all I could take. Then I kicked the door open. She screamed. He scrambled off the bed trying to grab his pants. I just looked at them both. Didn't yell. Didn't hit him. Just said, "Get out of my house." He left. She started crying, saying it was a mistake, it only happened once, she was lonely because I was always working. All the usual garbage cheaters say. I packed a bag that night and left. Stayed with my brother. Filed for divorce the next week. That's when she went nuclear. She called my parents. Her parents. Our friends. Everyone we knew. Told them I abandoned her and the kids without warning. Said I was having an affair. Said I drained the bank accounts and left her with nothing. None of it was true, but she sold it so well that people believed her. My own mother called me screaming. My sister wouldn't return my calls. Friends I'd had for 10 years blocked me. Her family showed up at my brother's place threatening me. I tried telling people the truth. Nobody wanted to hear it. She'd gotten to them first, and apparently her version was more believable. The devoted wife abandoned by her selfish husband made a better story than the truth. The divorce was brutal. She fought me on everything. Custody, assets, everything. I got every other weekend with the kids at first, then she started poisoning them against me. They'd come over and barely talk to me. My daughter, who used to run into my arms when I got home, wouldn't even look at me. My son, who was 14 then, asked me once why I left them. I wanted to tell him. But my lawyer said if I badmouthed their mother, it would hurt my custody case. So I just said, "It's complicated. I love you. I never wanted to leave you." He didn't believe me. I could see it in his face. Over the next year, the visits got worse. The kids would sit on their phones the whole time. My daughter started making excuses not to come. Then my son stopped answering my texts. Eventually, they stopped coming altogether. My ex told the court I was making them uncomfortable. The judge reduced my custody to supervised visits. Then the kids refused even that. I kept paying child support. Every month. Never missed. But I didn't see them for 4 years. Last week, my son called. Just out of nowhere. His voice was deeper. He sounded like a man. He said, "I need to know why you really left." I asked him why now. He said he was packing for college and found some old papers in the attic. Divorce documents. Bank statements showing I never drained anything. Text messages between his mother and our old friend from before the divorce. He'd figured it out. So I told him everything. The affair. Walking in on them. How his mother lied to everyone. How I tried to stay in their lives but she made it impossible. He was quiet for a long time. Then he said, "She told us you didn't want us anymore." That broke something in me. I started crying. Told him I called every week even when he wouldn't answer. That I never stopped loving them. That losing them was worse than the divorce. He believed me. He actually believed me. We talked for 2 hours. He apologized. Said his sister was still angry but he talked to her. Then he asked if he could stay with me for a while before college. Get to know me again. I said yes immediately. My ex found out. She's been blowing up my phone for 3 days. Calling me every name in the book. Saying I'm turning her son against her. That I'm manipulating him. That I waited until he was 18 to poison him with lies. Her family is back to harassing me. Her mother showed up at my work yesterday screaming that I'm destroying their family. But here's the thing. I didn't tell my son to hurt her. I told him because he asked and deserved the truth. He's an adult now. He can make his own choices. My brother says I should have kept my mouth shut. That I've opened old wounds for no reason. But I'm tired of being the villain in a story where I was the victim. So, AITA for finally telling my son the truth about why I left? My son moved in 3 days ago and my ex is losing her mind. He showed up with 2 suitcases and his laptop. That's it. Said his mother tried to guilt him into staying but he was done listening to her version of things. We ordered pizza and stayed up until 2 in the morning just talking. Really talking. 4 years of catching up crammed into one night. He told me things I didn't know. How his mother would cry whenever he mentioned wanting to see me. How she'd say things like, "Your father chose his freedom over us, but it's okay, we don't need him." How she made him feel guilty every single time my name came up. The worst part? She used the child support money I sent to take vacations with her boyfriend. Yeah. The same guy from that day. They've been together this whole time. My son didn't know until recently. Thought he was just some family friend who came around a lot. Then he saw them kissing in the kitchen one morning and everything clicked. He said, "I feel like an idiot for believing her." I told him he was a kid. That she's his mother and he had no reason not to trust her. But I could see it eating at him. Yesterday, my daughter called. First time in 4 years. She didn't apologize or anything. Just said, "Is it true? About why you left?" I asked what she heard. She said my son told her everything. That they'd been fighting about it for days. She sounded confused more than anything. I kept it simple. Told her yes, it's true. That I walked in on her mother with someone else and that's why I left the marriage, not them. That I tried to stay in their lives but it got impossible. She went quiet. Then she said, "Why didn't you tell us before?" That one hurt. I explained that I didn't want to trash their mother. That my lawyer said it would hurt my custody case. That by the time I could have said something, they wouldn't talk to me anymore. She didn't say much after that. Just, "I need time to think," and hung up. But here's where it gets messy. My ex's family is on a warpath. Her mother came to my apartment last night banging on the door at 10 p.m. My son answered before I could stop him. She started screaming at him. Calling him disloyal. Saying he was breaking his mother's heart. That I brainwashed him with lies. My son just stood there and said, "I saw the text messages. I know what happened. Stop lying." She looked like he'd slapped her. Then she turned on me. Started yelling about how I destroyed her daughter's life. How I was a deadbeat who only came around now that the kids were grown. I reminded her I paid child support for 4 years while being blocked from seeing them. That I called, texted, showed up to school events until your daughter filed complaints to keep me away. She didn't have an answer for that. Just kept yelling until a neighbor threatened to call the cops. She left, but not before telling my son he'd regret choosing me over his family. The next morning, I got a text from my ex. Long, rambling mess about how I'm manipulating our children. How I abandoned them and now I'm rewriting history. How she's going to make sure everyone knows what kind of person I really am. I didn't respond. What's the point? But then something unexpected happened. One of our old mutual friends reached out. Someone who cut me off 4 years ago. He said he heard my son's version of events through someone else and wanted to know if it was true. I told him everything. Sent him screenshots of the child support payments. Copies of the texts I sent the kids that went unanswered. Everything. He apologized. Said he felt like garbage for believing her without hearing my side. That a few other people in our old friend group were starting to question things too. Turns out my ex's story had holes. Like how I supposedly drained the bank accounts but she went on 3 vacations that year. How I supposedly wanted nothing to do with the kids but I kept showing up to their school until she threatened legal action. People are connecting dots now. And she knows it. She called me this morning. No yelling this time. She actually sounded scared. Asked if we could talk in person, just the two of us. I said no. Told her anything she needs to say can go through text where there's a record. She tried the crying thing. Said she made mistakes but she was trying to protect the kids. That she panicked when I found out about the affair and didn't know what else to do. I asked her how lying to our children for 4 years was protecting them. How turning them against me helped anyone. She couldn't answer that either. My son heard the whole conversation. Afterward he said, she's only sorry because she got caught. He's right. She had 4 years to come clean. 4 years to tell the truth. She only cares now because her lies are falling apart and people are figuring out what really happened. My brother still thinks I should have kept quiet. Says this drama isn't worth it. But my son is sleeping in the next room for the first time in 4 years. My daughter actually called me. After all this time, they're starting to see the truth. So no, I don't regret telling them. They deserve to know why their family fell apart. And honestly, I'm done protecting someone who spent 4 years destroying my relationship with my own kids. Her boyfriend, the one she cheated with, apparently wants to meet with me. Sent a message through someone saying he wants to apologize and clear the air. I blocked his number. There's nothing he can say that I want to hear. My ex keeps texting. Alternating between begging me to stop turning the kids against her and threatening to take legal action for parental alienation. Her lawyer apparently told her she doesn't have a case since my son is 18 and I only told him the truth when he directly asked. I'm just trying to focus on rebuilding what I lost. My son starts college in 2 months and wants to stay here until then. Maybe my daughter will come around. Maybe she won't. But at least now they know I never stopped wanting them in my life. Was I wrong to finally tell them what really happened? My daughter showed up at my apartment yesterday without warning. She looked exhausted. She didn't hug me or anything. Just walked in, sat on the couch, and said, I need to hear it from you. Everything. Start to finish. My son was there. He offered to leave but she told him to stay. Said she wanted to hear it with him present so nobody could claim anyone was lying later. So I told her. The whole thing. Coming home early. Finding them together. Her mother's lies. The custody battle. Every phone call that went unanswered. Every birthday I wasn't invited to. Every school event where I sat in the parking lot hoping to catch a glimpse of them. She cried. Not the dramatic kind. Just quiet tears running down her face while she stared at the floor. When I finished, she said, she told us you had another family. That you chose them over us. That hit different than anything else. I knew my ex lied but hearing the specific things she said made it worse somehow. My son said, she told me that too. Said he had a new wife and kids and that's why he stopped trying. I had to sit down. 4 years. 4 years they thought I replaced them. My daughter asked why I never fought harder. Why I didn't just show up and force them to listen. I explained that I did. That their mother called the school and told them I was harassing the family. That she threatened to file for a protective order if I didn't stop. That my lawyer said pushing harder would make things worse. She got quiet again. Then she asked if she could stay for a few days. Said she couldn't be in the same house as her mother right now. I set her up in my room. I've been sleeping on the couch but I don't care. Having both my kids here feels surreal. That night, my ex called 17 times. 17. My daughter finally answered and put it on speaker. The things that came out of her mother's mouth. Calling her ungrateful. Saying she sacrificed everything to raise them alone. That I was poisoning them just like I poisoned everyone else against her. My daughter just said, "You lied to us for 4 years. You made us hate him for something he didn't do." Her mother started crying. The manipulative kind. Saying she was protecting them. That I would have turned them against her if she'd told the truth. My son cut in. "So you turned us against him instead? How is that better?" She didn't have an answer. Just kept crying and saying they were breaking her heart. My daughter hung up. She looked at me and said, "I'm so sorry. For all of it." I told her she was a kid. That she had no way of knowing. But she shook her head. I should have questioned it. Should have wondered why you just stopped trying. I believed her because she's my mom. That broke something in me but I held it together. Told her we can't change the past but we can move forward now. The next day, things got worse for my ex. One of her coworkers reached out to me. Someone I'd met a few times at company events back when we were married. She said my ex had been telling people at work that her kids abandoned her. Playing the victim. But then someone who knew my son mentioned seeing him, and when they asked where he was staying, he told them the truth. Word spread fast. Apparently my ex had been using the single mother abandoned by deadbeat ex story to get sympathy and special treatment at work. Extra time off. Flexible schedule. Even some kind of hardship bonus. Now people were asking questions. If her kids were with their father, was she really a struggling single mother? If she'd been lying about that, what else was she lying about? Her boyfriend, the affair partner, apparently got fired from his job last month. My son told me. Something about poor performance, but honestly I think karma finally caught up with him. Now he's depending on my ex financially. Which explains why she's been so desperate. She's got her deadbeat boyfriend living off her kids found out the truth, and her reputation is falling apart. She showed up here this morning. I was leaving for work and she was sitting in her car outside my building. She got out when she saw me. Asked if we could talk. I told her no. That anything she needs to say can go through text or email. She started crying right there in the parking lot. Said she made mistakes but she never meant for things to get this bad. That she panicked when I caught her and everything spiraled out of control. I asked her when exactly she planned to tell the truth. After another 4 years? After the kids were married with families of their own? She couldn't answer. Then she said something that made my blood boil. "You got what you wanted. The kids know your version now. Are you happy?" My version. Like there are multiple valid interpretations of her sleeping with our friend. I told her the kids don't know my version. They know the truth. There's a difference. She left after that but not before my daughter saw the whole thing from the window. She came outside and asked if I was okay. I said yeah. But honestly, I'm not sure I am. 4 years of being the villain in my own kids' lives and now watching her fall apart because her lies caught up with her. It's a lot. My ex's mother called my daughter later. Tried the guilt trip again. Said families are supposed to forgive and move on. That holding grudges only hurts everyone. My daughter said, she lied to us about our father for 4 years. That's not a mistake. That's a choice she made every single day. Then she hung up. I'm proud of them. Both of them. They're processing this better than I could have at their age. But the fallout keeps spreading. My ex's sister reached out. Someone I actually got along with before the divorce. She apologized. Said she believed her sister's story but now she's hearing things that don't add up. I didn't sugarcoat it. Told her exactly what happened. She said she wished she'd known sooner. Don't we all? My ex is apparently telling people I'm alienating the kids. That I manipulated them into hating her. But the kids are 18 and 16. Old enough to make their own decisions. Old enough to recognize lies when they finally see the truth. Her boyfriend tried to add me on social media yesterday. I blocked him immediately. My son said he's been trying to reach out to him too. Probably wants to explain or apologize or whatever cheaters do when they get caught. Too late for that. The hardest part is watching my kids grieve. Because that's what this is. They're grieving the mother they thought they had. The version who was honest and trustworthy and put them first. My daughter said last night, I don't know how to look at her the same way anymore. I don't have an answer for that. How do you rebuild trust with someone who spent 4 years lying to your face? My ex keeps texting. Saying she wants family therapy. That we need to heal together. But there's no we anymore. She destroyed that 4 years ago when she chose to lie instead of taking responsibility. I'm just done protecting her from the consequences of her own choices. Am I wrong for not shutting this down? For letting people find out what really happened? It's been 3 months since my son moved in. I'm writing this because I think I'm finally ready to close this chapter. My daughter graduated high school last week. I was there. Front row. First time I've been to one of her school events in 4 years. She saw me in the crowd and smiled. Actually smiled at me. I didn't think that would ever happen again. Her mother was there too, sitting on the opposite side with her boyfriend. My daughter didn't acknowledge either of them. After the ceremony, she came straight to me and my son. We went out to dinner, just the three of us. She starts college in the fall and asked if she could stay with me until then. I said yes without hesitation. My ex tried to approach us in the parking lot after graduation. My daughter saw her coming and said, "I'm not ready to talk to you yet." Her mother started crying. The public kind. Making a scene. My daughter just walked away. I'm proud of her for that. For setting boundaries. The past 3 months have been rough but good. My son started therapy. Said he needed help processing everything. The lies, the lost time, all of it. I offered to pay and he took me up on it. He's doing better now. Talks more. Laughs more. My daughter's been harder to read. She's angry in a way my son isn't. Not at me. At her mother. At the years we lost. At believing the lies for so long. Last month she told me she feels stupid for not questioning things sooner. I reminded her that children shouldn't have to fact-check their parents. That trust is supposed to be the default, not the exception. She said, "I missed 4 years with you because of her. I can't get that back." She's right. We can't. But we're building something new now. It's not the same as what we had before, but it's real. My ex's life fell apart faster than I expected. Her work found out she'd been claiming hardship benefits under false pretenses. They launched an investigation. She wasn't fired but she's on probation now. Lost the flexible schedule and the extra time off. Her boyfriend moved out last month. Apparently he found someone else. My son told me. Said his mother called him crying about it. He didn't answer. Just let it go to voicemail. Karma's funny that way. She helped him cheat on me, and he ended up cheating on her. Can't say I feel bad about it. Her family stopped harassing me after my daughter told them everything. Her mother actually called to apologize. Said she should have asked for my side of the story before taking her daughter's word as fact. That she failed her grandchildren by enabling the lies. I appreciated that. Didn't fix anything but at least someone acknowledged what happened. My ex tried reaching out to the kids a few times. Birthday texts. Random messages asking how they're doing. My son responds occasionally. Short answers. My daughter ignores her completely. She tried calling me 2 weeks ago. First time in a month. Said she wanted to apologize properly. That she's in therapy now and working on herself. I told her I'm glad she's getting help but I don't need her apology. That what she needs to do is let the kids heal without pressuring them. She agreed but I could tell she was hoping for more. There's nothing more to give. She destroyed 4 years of my relationship with my children because she couldn't face the consequences of her own actions. No apology fixes that. The friend she cheated with tried reaching out through a mutual acquaintance. Wanted to apologize and make amends. I sent back a message saying I have nothing to say to him. Haven't heard from him since. Some people don't deserve closure. Some people deserve to live with what they did. My old friend group has been reaching out more. Not everyone. Some people still believe her version or just don't want to get involved. But enough people know the truth now that I'm not the automatic villain anymore. One friend apologized for cutting me off without hearing my side. Said he feels terrible about it. We met for coffee last week. It was awkward at first but felt good to reconnect. He asked about the kids. I showed him pictures from graduation. He said he's happy things are turning around. They are. Slowly. My son's doing well in his summer job. Talks about college like he's actually excited about it. My daughter's working part-time and saving money. We have dinner together most nights. Watch movies. Talk about normal things. Sometimes I catch myself waiting for it to fall apart. Waiting for them to change their minds and go back to hating me. My therapist says that's normal after trauma. That rebuilding trust takes time even when everyone wants it to work. But they're here. They chose to be here. That has to mean something. Last night my daughter asked me about my dating life. If I'd met anyone since the divorce. I told her no. That I've been focused on other things. She said, "You should. You deserve to be happy." That caught me off guard. I said I'm happy. That having them back in my life is enough. She smiled. I know. But still. You don't have to be alone forever because of what she did. Maybe she's right. I don't know yet. For now I'm just trying to be present. To make up for the time we lost even though I know we can't actually get it back. My son graduates next year. He wants me there. Wants me involved. That alone feels like winning the lottery. People keep asking if I regret telling them the truth. If I think the fallout was worth it. The answer is yes. Every time. My kids deserve to know why their family fell apart. They deserve to know I never stopped wanting them in my life. That I fought for them even when it looked like I'd given up. My ex made her choices. She chose to cheat. She chose to lie. She chose to alienate me from my own children rather than take responsibility. Those consequences are hers to live with. Not mine. I'm done carrying guilt for someone else's decisions. Done being the villain in a story where I was the victim. Done protecting someone who spent 4 years destroying the most important relationships in my life. The truth came out eventually. It always does. And yeah, people got hurt. My kids had to confront the fact that their mother lied to them for years. That's painful. But living with those lies would have been worse. At least now we have a chance to build something real. Something based on honesty instead of manipulation. My daughter starts college in 2 months. Different state. She's nervous but excited. Asked if I'll help her move in. I said of course. My son's already planning visits. Says he wants to stay connected this time. Really connected. No more lost years. I believe him. 3 months ago I was the father who abandoned his family. The deadbeat who stopped trying. The villain in my own children's story. Now I'm just their dad again. Imperfect, still figuring things out, but here. Present. Honest. That's all I ever wanted to be. My ex sent a long email yesterday. Talking about regret and missed opportunities and wishing she could go back and do things differently. Part of me wanted to respond. To tell her exactly how much damage she caused. How many nights I spent wondering if my kids hated me. How many birthdays and holidays I spent alone because she turned them against me. But I deleted it instead. She knows what she did. She'll have to live with it. That's punishment enough. I'm focused on moving forward now. On being the father my kids deserved all along. On rebuilding what was broken and creating something new. It won't erase the past. Won't give us back those 4 years. But it's something. And right now, something feels like everything. So no, I don't regret telling them the truth. I regret that I had to. I regret that their mother put us all in this position. I regret the time we lost. But I don't regret giving my kids the chance to know what really happened. To make their own choices based on facts instead of lies. That's what parents are supposed to do. Protect their kids. Even when it's hard. Even when it means exposing painful truths. My ex forgot that somewhere along the way. Or maybe she never knew it to begin with. Either way, it's not my problem anymore. I've got my kids back. We're healing. Building something better than what we had before. And that's enough.